Hello, this is RubyDev and this is a video showcasing some changes of the 0.2.7 update for Tiny Rogues. The main focus of this patch was to improve how the game is played with gamepad, but mouse and keyboard controls also have changed in some aspects. This update reset all your input bindings, both on gamepad and on keyboard. You will need to reconfigure them once more. Speaking of reconfiguring inputs, in this update some input bindings can now purposefully overlap. As you can see, I have both the interact and the use menu action button bound on my cross button of my gamepad. The game can now distinguish different input contexts, and this way one of the inputs can take priority even if bound to the same button. While rebinding, if an input cannot overlap, the game will now tell you and ask you if you want to swap the bindings. One new input action is the radial menu. With the radial menu, you can quick use or equip items from your inventory. Additionally, while in combat, the game now pauses when you open your inventory. The trade selection has also been reworked. If you want to re-roll trades, you now have a button for it. To prevent misclicks, you now need to hold the button when selecting a trade. As you might have seen, the option menu has been overhauled. There is new tabs such as the UI tab and the controls tab. This way the keyboard tab and the gamepad tab can focus solely on input rebinding. As you can see, the wonky scrolling of the menu has also been fixed. Even drop-down menus now scroll correctly. One of the new options is the input icons option. By default, this option is set to auto. When set to auto, the game will try its best to recognize your input controller. But if it fails to recognize the correct controller, you can also manually select one of these icon sets. Another new feature and new option in the controls tab is the 360-degree movement option. By default, this is on. There is now also an option to auto attack or always attack. This is very comfy, especially when paired with 360-degree aim assist angle. The auto attack option will make it so you always attack while in combat, so while any enemy is alive, you don't need to actually hold or press the button. If you prefer a little bit more control, obviously the auto attack while aiming option is still available. As you can see, the HUD has gone through some changes. The resources on the left have a little bit more structure. Also, the HUD now displays input icons. For example, to weapon swap. If you find the input icons to clutter the screen too much, you can turn them off in the UI tab of the options menu. If turned on in the options menu, aim assist now also works for mouse players. On your character, the angle of the aim assist is now shown. If I change the aim assist setting from 360 degree to 180 degree, roughly, then it will only display a half circle. You can now also toggle aim assist on the fly. On gamepad, by default, on the right stick press. On mouse and keyboard, you can toggle it with the Z key. Also regarding aim assist, all skills now have some sort of auto aim inbuilt. Currently, I'm only holding the skill button and it will auto target the enemy. If I prefer to manually place my smoke grenade here, I can use the stick and manually place it. After not using the stick for a short duration, it will go back to auto aiming. There is also a new input action called cancel skill. With this input action, any charged skill can be cancelled. Again, I'd like to point out how on my circle button there are multiple bindings. The cancel skill button, decline, cancel menu action, the inventory button, And all of this works with input contexts. Speaking of the decline input action, this one is very handy. Every dialog choice in the game now knows which one is confirm and which one is decline. By using the decline input action, I can immediately quit out of this choice. If you ever accidentally talk to an NPC, you can now use the decline key to mash through the dialogue. If you play on Steam Deck, there also have been made some changes. The options shown on screen right now have new default values for Steam Deck. The game now also finally supports the Steam Deck's native resolution. Last but not least, let's talk about some gameplay changes. The shock status effect has been fixed and now works as intended. Nettles inflicted by nature damage has also been fixed. Previously, only one stack of it would work. Now all stacks work. Companion items now also show how many of the companion are currently summoned. Two other changes are that floor 10, 11 and 12 cannot offer gold and infusion rewards anymore. Also, floor 10, 11 and 12 cannot contain a black market anymore. Again, there have been a lot of other changes and the full patch notes go into more detail. I hope you enjoyed this little video. Obviously a first time for me. I'm not a professional text reader or voice actor or whatever. Maybe in the future I should hire somebody to do this. But for this patch I thought it's really important for me to give you this little rundown and talk to you directly and show to you what has actually changed. I hope you have a nice time, and if any feature didn't make it into this patch, or you notice any new bugs or inconsistencies or any weird things with the control schemes that you would like me to fix or you think should be fixed in the future, then just drop a reply to the Steam poll and I will try to fix it in the future. I'm very glad we have this big update now that overhauls a lot of stuff, and I think it will feel really nice, but obviously it's not going to be perfect. There are going to be small things that need to be ironed out over the coming months or years. Also, now that this is done, gameplay updates will resume soon. I have some big plans, I have a lot of plans, and I am actually really hyped to finally get to make changes to the game again and get to make new additions to the game again and not be stuck in control scheme hell, because it's been very tiring. That's it from me. Again, I hope you enjoyed the patch, I hope you enjoyed the new controls, and I wish you a nice week. Thank you for playing.